Of it. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back kicking it stateside for another Saturday edition. It feels crazy saying this. I'm with my brother Brian on the other side.
What's
How
up,
you doing, man?
I'm wonderful as usual.
Per usual, we're rocking and rolling. We got the Premier League is back.
Yes, our baby is back.
The babies are back. We had a couple games on Wednesday. We had 2 yesterday. We have a full slate today and tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll get all into that.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks in one basically coming up here. So
as the schedule starts to get fast and furious, kind of making up all these games because of the pandemic. But
was there really games on Wednesday? Because I've tried to block those out of my mind.
I don't think they counted anyway because one, just a terrible performance from your Gunners anyway. But yes, it was
and a terrible performance from VAR.
Yeah.
So I basically got screwed all day Wednesday. Like I was so pumped for all this to come back, and like my entire day was a screw job.
Exactly, because like we were talking before the show, you had 1-0 for Sheffield, which should have been the score, and you would have had a nice 4-pointer.
We'll get into that.
But again, we'll dive into that for that nonsense. But I guess before we start rolling on, we'll what we got going on today. We got the Prem, obviously, we just said is back. We got a live looking. We got Arsenal versus Brighton going on right now. It's still 0-0, I believe.
Yes, we had a very eventful breakfast game. It took 80-some minutes, but it got exciting.
Yeah, our Foxes in Leicester. You think our boy Benny Chilwell.
What a strike, bro.
Yeah.
What a goal.
Absolute piper. You think they get the winner, and then, Dawson comes down and scores another great goal.
Did you see my tweet? Did you happen to see it before we got on?
No, I have not seen the tweet before we got on.
I tagged you and multiple people in it. It was, who the fuck is Craig Dawson?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to give Craig some love.
Dude, that was very agile for a defender who's never scored a goal in his Premier League career so far. So, yes.
It had to be him, right?
That was like a show of love. It wasn't a negative, who the fuck is Craig Dawson? I tagged more like Blazer. I tried to get it out there. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody said the same thing. Like Watford fans said that. Like, I wasn't just me.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. All the Watford fans are probably on their knees saying thank you.
Still alive.
We're just, that point was huge.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about the games that happened Wednesday and yesterday, and kind of look into tomorrow, today, and obviously there's a lot of games coming up. We'll kind of talk about that as well with the pandemic. There's a lot of games coming.
Yeah.
And I said this last week, and I think the first week we came back, you thought that Christmas break was a full slate.
That ain't nothing.
You got games coming every 3-4 days now.
Yeah, I was really diving into the schedule this morning, and it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, it's great for us, but
for the fans, it's fantastic because we've been missing it for 3 months, but it's like,
yeah.
It's a different beast to also play during the summertime, because usually the season would be over.
Right.
And again, we can kind of talk about this as well. The water breaks. You never saw that in the Prem. You see that in like the MLS when the heat's over like 90 or the humidity's over a certain percentage, but in the Prem, you don't see that.
No, doesn't happen. It is now, so
it's kind of weird, but yeah, we'll get into that also. Bayern Munich.
There it is. So waiting
wins
for that.
their 8th Bundesliga title in a row.
8.
Yikes.
Yeah. I got my pants on again.
Of course. Just had to keep trolling me. Hey.
This is the last week. I'll change it up next week, but I had to one more week.
One more Bayern pants. Fine.
Yes.
God. Yes. But yeah, it's the Bundesliga is still going on, but the title is already wrapped up. So Bayern wins their 8th in a row. That kind of piggybacks off the one poll question I put up. With Bayern winning their 8th in a row, it's like, is this good or bad? Like, is this bad for the league? Because I have a lot of thoughts on this, obviously, because it's not my team. But again, I'll wait to share that. But it'd be interesting.
I was going to say, you'll be surprised my take on it being that it is my team as well, I think. So,
yeah, I'm interested to see what you have to say, and if show us in the comments what you got.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it from anybody who's
even a non Bundesliga fan. It's like you see that a team has
just
won
as a sports fan in general.
Yeah, you win 8 years in a row. You're like, well, that seems kind of boring.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
some of the years it may have been. Some of the years it might be a little closer, but
we'll
talk about it. We'll talk about it. I know I always get going into things that we're not supposed to talk about yet.
The train you mentioned that, and the train just keeps going down the tracks. It's like, nope, wait.
Yeah, reel it back.
But yes, and also a little bit on world soccer, just any hot topics, or obviously La Liga in Spain got going this week, and also in Italy, the Serie A got going. We had
Coppa Italia final.
We had the Coppa Italia final between Juve and Napoli, which actually was a very good game.
It was phenomenal. And
Cristiano Ronaldo lost.
Which is always great.
And he missed a PK.
Which is also always great. That's 2 in a week.
Yeah, he's been
a
little bit of struggling since the return here.
Yeah, he's probably loving life. A guy like that with that much money, quarantine doesn't hurt him too bad.
I was gonna say it.
He was probably enjoying himself.
He still goes home to a bunch of money and a beautiful wife, and
yes,
living the life.
Yeah,
in. But so that, and we'll bring back yellow card, red card. I'm sure. I could guess probably Arsenal might be on your list of yellow card and red card. Maybe yellow for Arsenal?
Maybe somebody.
Maybe a certain person.
Maybe somebody that's currently still on Arsenal. I'm hoping will not be. But yeah, it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
Won't mention any names. Luis.
Yeah. Thanks, Chelsea. Thanks. We appreciate it.
Oh man, there's just so much to get into. I'm trying to rein it in before I get off the rails.
Yeah, well, your level of excitement right now should be relatively high. You're in a pretty good place, and
I wore my hat today.
Yeah, I see that. To counteract my Bayern pants because you knew they were coming.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, it's a lot of good stuff going on. But before we get into it, we got to give our shout out to our sponsors. We got our boys, the M-Buck Service guys.
Yep.
Again, summer is like a day away, right?
Tomorrow
is tomorrow the first official day of summer?
There's everybody has mixed. I've heard today. I hear tomorrow. I believe today is the first official day of summer, and tomorrow is the longest day of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
I always thought it was the 21st of June, but everyone
I could be wrong. It could be vice versa. It could be tomorrow and Monday or something. But we're right there.
We're right there.
It's summertime.
Summer's going on. Pennsylvania.
I actually leave for LBI at 2:30 today for the week.
Do you?
I
Good
do.
For you.
Week down the shore.
Little R&R.
Yes, much needed. Yes.
I'm happy.
Thanks.
But yes, we got summer coming up, baby. Right around the corner. In Pennsylvania, all my Pennsylvania people, we're about to go in the green next week.
You're there.
We are about to be having more than 250 people in a room now instead of 25.
Have fun with that. I'm not going in any room with 250 people.
In your backyard, social distancing with masks, you want to get the Ambuck service guys to fix your deck. Have a great party.
You do.
Clean your gutters.
Yes, make it look beautiful. Let them do all the dirty work, the leg work. They're professionals.
You could go to LBI like Brian and just kick back while these guys go to town.
Leave a check in the mailbox. I'm sure they'd be okay with that.
Absolutely.
So
you can give them a call at 856-879-5530 and find them at ambuckservices.com. Also, the good doctor, Paul Vidal, at Specialized Physical Therapy. Again, I was throwing the baseball last week. I think I tore my rotator cuff throwing the ball for the first time. If you get surgery, go to our man Paul.
Yeah, he'll take care of you, get you back rehabbed and going again.
Getting you throwing the baseball like you're 18 years old again. But he has 3 locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. So all the South Jersey people and central part of Jersey.
Yes, central. Don't forget Central Jersey. It does exist. I'll debate that.
It is a real thing. Yes,
but that's for another time.
But yes, our boy Paul Vidal, always a treat. So go check him out. In our the 3 branches, again, Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton. So
absolutely,
as we get into this Premier League season that is finally upon us,
we have returned
after 100 days layoff. We're back, and we're in there.
After 100-day layoff, the first game back that we get has a ginormous error on multiple levels. I mean, we could break it down in who you want to blame. I feel like there's levels of blame. First, you start with the ref. I mean, obviously, things happen fast. Things get missed.
Right.
That's why VAR is there. Still probably shouldn't have been missed, but so you give him a small pass. It happens. He's human. It's natural. But now you're supposed to have the system.
Right.
And you're supposed to have 7 cameras. And their excuse was there were 7 camera views blocked, which is an absolute lie.
Oh, that's bullshit.
It's an absolute lie. There was probably technical difficulties. They don't want to come to admit it because there's no way 7 camera views are locked or blocked. And the ultimate is VAR is still a person. There is a person in a booth in charge of this who has 1 full minute to finally say, hey, the ref hasn't buzzed me. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's an error. Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe this, maybe that. It is your job to make that right. And what were you doing? He was probably taking a nap.
He probably thought he wasn't going to be needed.
I mean,
there's just so many different ways to be like, okay, something was blocked or whatever the case was that they said. And obviously there's technical difficulties when he didn't get buzzed on his little stupid watch.
Right.
And when they went to show the replay in the game, they usually have that like animated thing that shows you kind of like
the Hawkeye was broken.
Yeah, where Hawkeye the ball landed to see if the whole ball crossed the plane of the goal, and that didn't even work. So
yeah. They had one job. They had 100 days to be ready for the first game back, and they failed.
They failed miserably.
Where the Prem usually does it right, and there's some stuff I'm going to talk about later in the show where I think they've done great so far in the return. This was a big black eye, and I don't know, again, who's technically at fault, if there's multiple people at fault, but the ramifications are huge. I mean, Villa picks up a point that they don't deserve, which could be huge in the
long
relegation
run, right,
for teams that are fighting them in relegation. And Sheffield loses out on a potential 3 points that would have them 5th above United right now. And with City's ban, it would have them in a Champions League spot.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't say that would have been the final result, a 1-0, score. But most likely the way that game was going and the way Sheffield defends and Villa can't score, I mean, that was going to be the game changer. And they cost me 4 points. So, most importantly.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing you took away. Yeah, damn it. In our score prediction, that's the biggest thing. But yeah, it was a mess that they had all this time to get it right. The guys before the game, it's like you check it, you keep checking it. So the guy that was checking it before the game wasn't like, oh wait, we got something going on here. Like,
right. Somebody right there failed.
Push it under the rug or something like
or
after that.
I mean, you don't know that he didn't, and then the people in the booth were supposed to be extra alert. I don't know. I mean, 1 full minute. A minute doesn't sound like a lot, but 1 full minute to sit there and figure out if this at least needs to be stopped and looked at. I mean, that's a lifetime to just run a couple replays. You and I have done it. We've seen the replays, and we've been in that field and seen how quick you can get them.
Right.
If you have a minute to run back a couple and say, hey, something's a little fishy, because then at that point, you just get to stop the game, and now you have the time you needed allotted to really dig into it and make sure, and somebody failed and missed that. So
it's like we're relying on these, like, robots and, like, technology.
Yeah.
And we're allowed to have the referee have his opinion. You didn't think when they gave a shout, like all the Sheffield players were like, dude, like it went in the net. Like he was falling into the net. You don't think the ref's like, maybe they have a good point. Maybe I'll go to the review and take a look at myself. He was just like, no, I didn't get a buzz. He's like, I didn't get a buzz. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. There's many, many, many people at fault.
That's why I brought it up in the poll question, which I did not mention. Should they just get rid of the whole dang thing in whole? Because we've been talking about this the whole season. How there's always some hiccups. Granted, it's the first year that they're using this, and there's going to be some, hiccups along the way. But they had 3 months to get something right and to make sure this was ready, and they just failed so badly that it makes you think, like, why do we even have it then?
I've been such a, proponent and defender of VAR, but like most people,
VAR stand for sure.
When something finally affects you in a negative fashion, it may change your opinion, and it's slowly. I mean, again, I think the idea and the technology is great, but you have to use it. You have to, 1, make sure it works, and 2, you have to be able to have a contingency plan. If it's not going to work or work with some flaws, you still have to have a backup. And that's what that human in the booth is there for, to be that last line of defense when all else fails, to still be able to say, hey, that didn't look right. Let's take a look at it. And that wasn't done.
Right. He's the non-robot that you're hoping, like you said, when all else fails, if there is, like, what happened, he can be like, hey, oh, that's weird. All the Sheffield guys are freaking out because they were literally right in front of the goalie, falling into the net. He was falling into the net, Brian.
Yeah, I know. And
if I'm a Sheffield fan, I know they're probably like, it's their first year up and they're doing fantastic. Again, huge. I'm a Blades guy through and through now. I'm getting the tattoo of a blade somewhere.
Do it.
But if I'm the fucking like Sheffield born and bred, I'm like, dude, how is that missed?
Yeah, and I mean, such an opportunity for this team right now, too.
And they always win 1-0, and you were spot on with that, and that probably would have been the only goal in the game because Villa just
is bad right now.
John McGinn was back, which I love Johnny. He looked pretty spry, but him and Jackie are probably the only guys that are worth mentioning. But again,
sorry, I wanted to stop. I was trying to read a comment since, again, we said we're kind of both in a position where we can't see the game right now. Greg said something about some injury. So if anybody can elaborate for me, please, who just got hurt on Arsenal to add to my misery, I'd like to know because it hasn't popped up on my.
Well, that's a good segue into Wednesday's game.
Yeah.
Man City just disposes of Arsenal.
I mean, talk about not finding your way back. They look.
It's rough.
I mean, it's inexcusable. David Luiz is absolutely inexcusable. I mean, it's not the first time this year. Obviously, it's not the first time in his career, but it's not the first time. Oh, Bernd Leno out. So basically, the guy who's played the best for Arsenal is out with a right leg.
The guy that's kept you sort of in the top
The only
10.
reason we're even in the top 10, and now we lose him. So awesome.
Who's the backup? Ospina?
No, Ospina's been in where's he at? Napoli now.
Oh, is
he? Martinez. Martinez. So he will get some time.
Bernd Leno out. Bummer.
Yeah. Shame.
The hits keep coming, and the hits keep coming.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. We have no defense. We have nothing right now.
It's almost comical at this point.
It is, because you look at the talent up front, and there's so much. There's so much. But in this sport, we all know, like a lot of sports, if you can't defend, you can't win.
Exactly.
And I mean, every aspect of that defense is just dreadful right now. And you're putting Bernd Leno in a bad spot, which probably some poor defending. I'll have to go back and watch now after our show. Probably some poor defending led to him being in a position where he got hurt, I would guess, or something along those lines, the way the season's been going.
I'm sure Mustafi gave the ball away or something.
Yeah, it was great to see him getting a start today. We're in such a good position that he needs to start. Like, didn't we just sign a couple defenders? Like, where are these kids? Where's Cedric at? I mean, Bellerin's back. Cedric's played central defensive back. He doesn't have to just play right back. Move him in there, like Rob Holding.
As Kolasinac is on the bench on Wednesday.
Yeah, Kolasinac started this week, but he's like, dude, he's not what he was.
And Papa.
He had a head injury early in this game. Papa's gone. I mean, between health and red cards, and it's just a nightmare. The only bright side, like, I saw Saka in the first half of today's game. That kid looks so good.
He's a beast, Saka.
I hope he's able to stay. He's one of those that you hope doesn't get loaned out or doesn't get extended when the time comes.
You have some good youngsters, I guess, if that's something to look forward to. Like Eddie's.
Yeah, Eddie's
pacey.
great. But it sounds like, I mean, as much as I love Aubameyang, it sounds like now they're really trying to work on an extension for him, which just holds Eddie back unless Lacazette's going somewhere.
I think Laka will probably be gone.
Probably. I mean, Pepe still hasn't really had an opportunity to shine. They put him in the weirdest positions. I don't understand that. The guy's a scorer. And
he'll leave too.
Yeah. I mean, I hope not. He's there. He's signed for a few years, so I'm hoping that as things kind of work themselves out, maybe some of the money that's going to some of the offense can be put towards the defense. I don't know. Again, I've been talking with everybody.
It's a mess.
There's no light at the end of the tunnel right now. I mean, you're tied with Brighton at halftime. Arsenal, granted, has looked really good, but you got to put the ball in the net especially against a team like Brighton.
They're not going to score.
Do you know that Brighton is the only team in all 4 divisions of English soccer to not have a win in 2020 so far?
Really?
Out of 91 teams, they're the only team to not have a win in the year 2020.
That kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for my prediction of them eventually getting relegated this season, but if teams like Arsenal, who should win this game hands down, are not showing up, it's going to help them out.
Again, a team that just cannot put the ball in the back of the net at all.
Yeah.
Brighton. They rely on like Maupai to kind of come out of nowhere and maybe have a good game every once in a while. But other than that, it's like,
yeah,
where are we getting our scoring from? Glenn Murray, the old bastard off the bench? Like, come on.
Yeah, true. I haven't seen Troussard in a while.
Yeah, another, who knows, maybe flash in the pan, Troussard.
You like how I just kind of ventured away from that City game and just kind of walked us right out of that one.
You're just upsetting all the citizens out there.
No, I mean, hey, big ups to City. Well played game. Raheem Sterling is Raheem Sterling. He's phenomenal.
He looked good.
Gets that goal right before the half, and then Luiz red cards it. You get a PK by De Bruyne, and
talk about a guy whose passes are just absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was kind of.
I know we talked about this like a long time ago, but
yeah, early in the year.
Jesus, this guy is I know he leads the league in assists by a lot, but man, even the weight of his passes are just insane.
Yeah, that touch is just absurd. I mean, as long that guy stays healthy, I guess he's still probably he's the most underrated player in the Premier League. Like, you don't hear about him when teams are talked about.
Yeah.
He's mentioned.
He hasn't scored. That's why.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't. They have. It's like, oh, you have Sterling. Oh, that's great. He's not scoring. Oh, you have Aguero. Oh, wait a sec. We have Gabby, Jesus.
Yeah, we have Leroy Sané, who just doesn't even.
Leroy doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to play for City anymore.
Yeah, it sounds
City's like, that's fine. You can go. We don't need you.
It sounds like with Timo going to Chelsea, though, he's leaning towards the pool to possibly replace Mane if he leaves. Yeah.
I can see him going to Bayern, and that will make me very upset.
I would love that.
But why? That's not necessary. To just add Leroy Sané to a Bayern team that's already has the attacking power.
Perisic is old.
They still have Coman, and they have wingers out the ass. They're fine. They don't need Leroy Sané at Bayern.
As I had this discussion last night with my parents, the Germans do it best.
Always do.
So that's the only reason why.
Beer and pretzels. That's
yeah, where can you go wrong?
But yeah, so today we had a game earlier.
Our breakfast game.
We had Leicester. The Foxes are back in action against the Hornets of Watford. Again, Brian said it took all of 90 minutes to get a goal. And we finally did.
Yeah. We got two beautiful goals.
Beautiful goals after nothing.
Yeah.
The whole game. Before the break, Leicester was definitely struggling, and I think remember in the beginning of the season and like halfway through almost, they were just unstoppable.
Yes.
I feel like that month before the pandemic, and even today, it just, I don't know. They're just not the same that they were in the beginning.
Yeah, I'll give them a little pass today because it's their first game back. Anybody, I guess, a first game back will give a small pass to, other than Arsenal. But I mean, that whole team kind of looked a little flat. The finishing's not there. I know we had a comment in there, too, about the Arsenal game. The finishing, a lot of these teams, the finishing's not there. That timing is not there. Leicester had some opportunities early in the game. They missed them. And you thought that with that Chilwell goal, as late as it was and as fantastic as it was, that was going to seal the deal. You get 5 minutes of stoppage time, and in that 5 minutes, they just kind of got lazy and let a goal up. And unfortunately, it cost them 3 points.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, and again, it's a Watford team that just grabbing a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is huge now.
It's monstrous as we come. Like we said, our biggest race in this league is going to be for that bottom three.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool had it wrapped up by Christmas, pretty much. So that bottom three race is going to be huge. And now with Villa picking up a phantom point in the Wednesday game and Watford stealing a point back in this game, it's going to make it tight for all those teams. I mean, Brighton's got to be into this game playing their ass off.
I guarantee Brighton grabs a point today because they don't lose, but they don't win.
Dude, as bad as Arsenal's been, don't be surprised if Brighton grabs 3 points today.
Hey, good for the Gulls if they can. That'd be massive 3 points for Brighton if they can get 3.
I need the Gunners to get it together because one, I need them to win it just because it can't be that team to lose to Brighton after they haven't won in so long. And two, I need Brighton to get relegated to make my pick look even better. So Arsenal will probably find a way to let me down. That's pretty typical. So let's hope that doesn't happen. We'll know before the show's over.
I mean, Arsenal are the new draw kings.
They are. They definitely are. And
they dethroned Wolves as.
Yes. Speaking of, we could roll into that because we do have West Ham, another team in that relegation zone. They're playing the Wolves today. So.
Yes, 12:30.
Yes.
At home too.
Yeah.
This is massive for the Hammers
against
Wolves.
A team who struggled mightily this season.
West Ham's been terrible.
They go 8 or 9 without a win.
Something like that. And remember we laid out their schedule and it was like, where are they getting a win out of any of these games?
Yeah. That schedule obviously got on pause, but we're right back in it.
We're right back to it, and they come back with Wolves.
Yeah. Could be a tough task.
There's just zero scoring. If you don't score, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Plain
simple.
Yeah.
And they don't have anybody. They got nothing. And Wolves, Espiritu Santo is going to have those boys ready to play.
I would think so. I would think they're pretty. He doesn't usually play around, and kind of gets them up and ready for most games. So,
and we'll see if Raul Jimenez can, come back to the form he was in. Before the pandemic.
Yeah, he was on fire. Diego Jota was on fire.
Jota.
I mean, that team was starting to roll again.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing really good in Europa. They were playing good all over the place. So
they're fantastic.
Yeah,
but I think West Ham. We know that Norwich is done.
Norwich is definitely done. I think that loss to Southampton, which we didn't even talk about. But that's okay.
For all our Saints fans, yes, Danny Ings scored again.
Yes,
surprising.
Danny Ings. Yes,
dude. How about Danny Ings?
Dude, we still said the Golden Boot is not locked up yet, and he
have 16 goals now.
He's in that running. I mean,
what?
That dude's ridiculous. I love
beautiful finish too.
Yeah,
just curled it right around the keeper, Timmy Krul.
Yeah, so the Canaries are done,
and Stewie Armstrong.
Yeah, great goal.
It's
great
a good
goal, and Nate Redmond just.
And how immaculate did Ralphie Hasenhüttl look?
He looks great. He's been definitely staying in shape during the quarantine.
Got that fresh beard rocking.
Yep. Yeah. He's just there's no one better.
Name a better looking coach than Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Can't do it. Can't do
it. Oh, my Austrian brother. But yes, what was the other game today?
That was it today.
No, there's one more at 2:45. Bournemouth and Palace.
Yes, today. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the had happened. I'm like, it's not that late in the day. Yeah, Bournemouth and Palace. Another team in these relegation battles. So we're seeing.
Can we talk about this? How about Ryan Fraser?
Let's do it.
He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play? What?
Yeah.
Dude, are you fucking serious?
Does he not want to play because he's still on Bournemouth and he wants out? Or does he not want to play because he actually feels that his life is in danger? Or is he using this as a perfect reason to just get some rest and be like, you know what? I don't want to play for this shit team anymore.
But he's part of the problem.
Oh, he's part of the problem. And a guy like that being linked to a possible transfer to Arsenal, I don't want a guy like that on my team.
If they were actually doing well and he was producing like he did last year, okay, and it's your contract year and you don't want to play because of whatever the case may be, that's fine. But, dude, you have like 3 assists and maybe a goal this year after having 16 assists last year, and your team sucks and you're giving up on Eddie Howe. Like,
yeah, he went from one of the best players last year to just being like, I guess it went to his head, and between being injured and it didn't seem like he really was like working his way back well, and yeah, he was just horrible this year. And now like you said, now all of a sudden you're too good to play. Yeah. He should just go play baseball then, because he'll fit right in there.
It's a frustrating. If I'm a Cherries fan, I'm like,
his time's up there.
Thank you, Ryan. So. Thank you so much. Good.
Yeah, you just made this easier.
Sit out.
Well, whatever. I mean, maybe it opens up the door to somebody else to get some time and give them an opportunity. Maybe it's a good thing for the team.
It's just a bad look for him.
Oh, it's an absolute bad look for him.
Like, who's going to want to pick him up next year? Like, he didn't even want to play for a team who's fighting for to stay up in the league.
Yeah, like they really could use your help right now.
Yeah,
to stay, and you're basically turned your back on them. So
it's not right.
Yeah,
I've been holding that in for a while. I'm like, are you serious? You're not going to play?
I get having concerns with all the stuff going on, but I mean, it seems like they have it down so far. I mean, we're back to play. I haven't heard anything too crazy. They seem to have the system down, and I mean, yeah, it's just stupid.
It's gonna be weird, at least till the end of this season.
Yeah,
but
so yeah, and they're taking on Palace. You said today.
Yes.
So our boys, Crystal Palace, DC. Big shout out.
I got to give a shout out to the Palace Eagle who passed away. Did you see that?
Yes. It's a shame. Poor Eagle. Speaking of Eagles, again, we're always trying to bring people in. We are in an Eagle city. That's so. If you're looking for a team and you don't have one yet, and you want to go based off of a mascot, there you go. Crystal Palace could be your team.
Palace does remind me of a hardworking,
and I believe, isn't there some ownership ties between Harris, Sixers owner? Doesn't he have ownership in Palace, if I'm not mistaken?
Josh Harris, does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Josh Harris has some, because there was a big talk about him basically having ownership in a bunch of Philly other sport rival teams, but also owning a Philly team. And then they were mentioning, somebody mentioned Crystal Palace, and then the typical sportscasters, neither of them had an idea who Crystal Palace was, because
I guess I could see that because the Union, and he owns part of the Union as well.
Yeah, along with your boy KD now.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, it just came up. So, like we said, we'll pull it back in, but we were there, so I went with it.
Yes, I would like to talk about that in our hot topics.
Yeah, we'll get more into that, but yeah, so that should be a pretty decent game. Again, another team fighting for their lives. Palace has been a little better than advertised at times this year.
A little inconsistent, but
yeah, I mean that's just Palace in general, and they'll tell you that. You watch their you watch Crystal Palace.
Oh, their Twitter feed is going to go.
Yeah,
it'll be fantastic today.
They could be up 3-0 with 4 minutes to go, and they're like, "Where is it? We're waiting for this to fall apart.
We're gonna lose."
Yeah,
the most pessimistic fans ever.
Yeah, where Arsenal's right on their track. Yeah, I get it. I get it. When your team does that to you, that happens. So,
but yes, then on Sunday we kind of roll into a triple header.
Yes,
we got Newcastle at Sheffield on Sunday at 9:00. Be interesting to see what Newcastle's got in store. I know their new owners aren't taking effect until I think next year, but that'll be an interesting story to move forward into what's to come for them. How much, who's going to want to play for them, and they're going to have infinite money. They're going to have like Man City money.
Oh yeah, they're now in the money game. So now they have the history, and now they have the money. So for all of those who have stuck by the Magpies, this could be a very lucrative time coming forward for them. Yeah,
absolutely. Because I saw obviously the oil guy, and then some other rich bastard just came on.
Yeah. Well, money follows money. We know that. So.
And they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
We got that $1 billion money?
Yeah. I'll take a piece of that now.
And everyone's going to get linked to Newcastle now. It's like, ooh, Neymar to Newcastle?
Yeah. That's another.
Oh, yes, you can't afford him.
That's another team our Philly area viewing crowd should check out. They're very blue collar.
Yeah,
they're very much like that Philly style. So if you don't have a team, Newcastle could be on your list as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to jump on the money bandwagon, it's perfect time. Do it now before they get good. Yeah.
You could not say you're a front runner. Get in now.
Yes.
And there's an American on the team, DeAndre Yedlin.
Yes. So there's many reasons for you
who, again, I want to talk about in our hot topics, but he's pissing me off.
And my man John Joe Shelby. So all you gotta do is look up John Joe Shelby highlights, and you will be a Newcastle fan for life.
Yeah, John Joe he's a special. He's a treat.
Yes, he sure is.
But that should be a fun game.
Yeah, playing Sheffield. Sheffield gets an opportunity to, take a little anger out from being snubbed. This is a big game for them. They need to get 3 points again to stay into that top 5 race to give themselves a chance at Champions League, or at least stay in the top 6 for that Europa spot. So, yeah.
1-0.
We might pick that one. That might be in our picks. And
1-0.
I'm sure one of us is picking a 1-0 score in that game. Whoever gets that first pick in that one. So.
It's always the first guy.
Absolutely. Whoever gets first in Sheffield, we know where that's going. So,
but yes, and then tomorrow at 11:15, we got my Chelsea boys finally back. Against Villa.
They get a
be a thrashing.
I was gonna say they get a nice easy way back.
Not so easy because Chelsea played like shit coming into the break.
Well, Robbie Earl expects Tammy Abraham to score a brace tomorrow because he's playing it. Yeah, he's playing his old team.
His old team, that's right.
And now you got Timo walking in the door, so now your competition's there.
Light that fire, baby.
Yeah, you got to light that fire. Could you imagine though if he gets scoring and you guys can run a 2-striker set with those two? Frank gets creative. I mean, that's
I would like to have the two set with Tammy and Timo because Timo's a guy that likes to play. He likes the ball played in behind him.
Yeah.
And Tammy is more of a hold-up guy. So I could see a two system with both those two.
I hate to say it, but I'm looking at this lineup now with him in there. And
with Pooley on one wing and then this Hakeem Ziyech on the other.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Frank's going to have no excuses.
And if they can steal Kai Havertz away,
that's a scary team. I mean, even if not, even if they get Chilwell or they just add a little bit more in the defense, you got a lot of young talent still there that they need to stay on the field as well.
Tomori, Reece James.
It's a good time to be a Chelsea lad as well. Unfortunately for me, I was texting my buddy, former Chelsea player. I was trying to get him on for this week. We had a scheduling; he was not able to do so. But
we'll get him
within the next couple weeks. He's down. He'll be able to do it from home. I told him, so he's definitely on board. So you guys are in good shape. I see you coming out and taking care of Villa. Definitely.
Let's hope so, man. But yeah. I just saw Jeff commented, goal Arsenal.
Oh, who got it, Jeff? Thank you very much for keeping us in the game. Again, we were both having some issues getting the game on and being able to do this. So
streaming sucks.
Yeah, it works. It allows us to be here, but it's not the same as sitting in that actual booth with, but we got to do what we got to do for now.
You're right. I'm not seeing the goal come through.
Well, I mean, as Jeff may have prematurely jumped the gun with VAR, and with my luck in VAR this week.
It was a VAR decision.
Was it overturned or it's in decision right now?
Overturned. It did not count.
Of course. Of course it wasn't.
Got him. Offside.
He said, never mind, offsides.
Thank you, Rafi and Jeff, for the update.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, technology, VAR doesn't work. My internet doesn't fucking work. My Xbox is acting up. Sorry.
Yeah. My PlayStation's working, but I let my NBC Gold account lapse because there was no games on and I haven't resubscribed, and I was going to wait till next season with this kind of being, but I may have to fire it back up.
You might have to do it.
Yeah.
We still got like 8 weeks. A lot of games.
I know. I just got an Ian Wright legend card in FIFA too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I bought it. I sold off all my teams, and I've been building an England team to finish out the last couple months of FIFA and go strong. So this is my final push before the new season comes out. But.
Hells yeah.
So
tomorrow is our big one.
Big one. I know. We talk all these, and the biggest one, the Mercyside Derby.
Can't get any bigger than that.
It's just going to be so strange having an empty house. Like this is one of those games where crowd plays such a role.
Oh my God. For a rivalry game, takes all the sort of fun out of it.
It does. It does. But at the same time, I mean, it should be a good game. Liverpool's back. Chance to end this season sooner than later.
If they win and City loses on Monday, they win the title.
Yeah, which we'll get into that Monday game in a few minutes, but I don't really see that one happening. But I see Liverpool winning. I just don't know about City losing.
Again, Liverpool's pretty much owned Everton the past, I don't even know, many years.
Yeah.
Ever since I've really been like 10 years, it's just...
Yeah, it's been...
Liverpool's been dominating.
Yes. Outside of a few games, a few individual games during the year, but as a whole, as that rivalry goes, it's been pretty much Liverpool heavy.
And if you've been watching our show since day one, we were Everton guys with Jackass as the coach.
Yeah,
Jackass got fired.
Yeah, he deserved to, like way before he did.
And they bring in a beautiful man, Carlo.
And it's worked.
It has.
It's worked. I'll be the first to admit I didn't think it was going to work. I thought there was just too damaged at this point. But he came in and he took what we saw with that talent and why we both thought that they would be a better team this year and actually has gotten them to play that way. So big ups to him.
I mean, I've been saying this since day one. I mean, their roster is just on paper. We thought they were a top 4 team with that roster.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones in the league by far.
And God, I'm drawing a blank. The striker.
Which one? The one that doesn't play, Moses Keane, or
no, the one that does and scores actually.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm drawing a big blank.
That's how bad they've been.
It's been bad, and we've had 3 months off. My brain is just like mush.
Yeah. He's Brazilian. Richarlison.
Yeah, Richarlison. No, they're the English guy. It's like a hyphenated name.
Oh, Udai. Hudson Odoi.
No. That's Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. Calvert-Lewin.
Yes.
Calvert-Lewin.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Jesus. How did you forget a name like that?
Adam, you idiot.
You got me like, who the hell am I talking about here?
Yes, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He was putting the ball in the back of the net. Under Ancelotti's regime.
He was. And that kid was touted to be a great talent, and nothing had come of it under the old regime. And yeah, talk about getting the best out of a player. He has absolutely done that.
Well, everybody shits on Calvert-Lewin, and I'm like, dude, if the Euros actually were happening this summer, he would be probably second striker to Harry Kane.
Yeah, especially with Rashford being knocked.
Behind him, too. Okay, third.
Yeah, third. But still, I mean, the kid is an absolute
He just scores.
talent. He does. He puts the ball in the net, and that's what you want out of that position more than anything else. So,
absolutely. You could do whatever you want, but as long as you are able to score, you're going to play.
That's why Aubameyang always gets a pass, because at the end of the day, that guy just puts the ball in the net. There's guys that do that. Kung Aguero's an absolute douche, but he puts the ball in the net.
Douche nozzle.
Yes, big time. So,
but yeah, I think Liverpool walks away with
Liverpool gets out of there with the dub. It's just a matter of time.
But before we move on to our Bundesliga action, on Monday we have Man City hosting Burnley. The Clarets. Sounds like a terrible game. And I know City just came off a win against Arsenal. Did we lose Brian? Brian's gone. That's okay. I'll finish the Man City debate. So Man City plays Burnley Monday at 3. City coming off a 3-0 win against Arsenal. Whoop-de-doo. Burnley very much were struggling. Chris Wood is probably the only guy that's been able to put the ball in the net for Burnley. And for all you City fans out there, just win.
Here. I'm here.
Hey, we lost. Yeah.
Just when we thought all the technical difficulties were behind us.
Threw a little wrench into the plan.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. So,
it's okay. Yes. I was discussing the City people, how they should be very excited about playing Burnley to maybe keep their title shot mathematically alive.
Yeah, they will survive one more week, without a doubt.
Burnley has been struggling.
Another team that's had some major issues.
Can't put the ball in the net.
No.
Yeah, Chris Wood, who's putting the ball in the net, and that's about it.
Yeah, and when you're relying on Chris Wood to carry you, again, that's another.
He's my favorite Kiwi.
I mean, it's my only Kiwi.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's legit. He's not a bad player, but I mean, if that's your go-to, your number one, it just tells you what level of talent you are compared to a team like City.
It's just Pep has whoever he wants at his disposal. Really, he could put in.
Yeah,
like Fernandinho didn't even start the other day, and Gundogan's been playing fantastic.
Yeah, well, that can come into the question asked. Eddie said he had 3 questions. What do you think about Werner to Chelsea? So we all know the answer to that.
Love it, baby.
Who do you think will get the Champions League and Europa spots? We can talk about that in a minute. And then, since we're talking about City, who do you think will leave if they are banned? If it's a 2-year ban, the entire team.
A lot.
Anybody, almost that entire starting 11, because they're all way too talented to not be playing in Champions League.
Yeah, why would you want to stay, I guess, if you get banned from the Champions League, which is why you want to come to a team like City right now.
Right. Your Prem is your Prem season's awesome, but ultimately these guys, they value Champions League more than anything, I would think. Most of them do.
It's the highest level.
Yeah. So
it's kind of how you make your name for yourself if you're not a big time player.
Oh yeah. A lot of guys have been names been made in Champions League because that gives teams from all over the world opportunities to see you. So not just
the funny thing about City is, though, Champions League is big for clubs because you get a lot of money as well. But City just has money, coming out their ass, so it won't hurt them that badly. But again, why would a player want to stick around and
they could pick up even more money by selling off a few people that may want out. So it's not going to hurt them by any means, other than the fact that they're just not going to be able to play, and that sucks for them and their fans. But you had a rule and you broke it, so there has to be consequences for it. And whether it ends up holding up to 2 years or just 1 year, I don't think they're going to completely get it taken away. I feel like they're at least going to get a 1-year ban officially once.
Yeah.
So there was still arbitration on it, I guess, that got put on hold with all this going on, but it should hold, I would think.
They should get probably a year. So, I mean, it's a good question. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who actually dips out.
So we going to pick the rest of this weekend? Do like a 2-parter in our kind of... We'll get we could go 4 games. We could go 2 games. I'm up for whatever. I know there's not like tremendous picking games there, but
yeah, the rest is kind of like weird. I don't know,
because that rounds out, that Monday game rounds out this week,
right?
When just a reminder for anybody. Oh, Pepe, thank you,
Nicola.
Pepe. Thank you, Pepe.
You were just talking about him.
I know. There's still 20-plus minutes, though, for that defense to fail, so I'm not going to get too excited. But thank you, Nicola, my man.
Nicola Pepe.
One of my favorite players before he was an Arsenal player. And now that he is there and he's wearing number 19, which is my daughter's kit number, I mean, come on, that's
big time.
Yeah, that's my guy. So that kit is on order finally. now that I got a little bit of expendable money where I can actually afford to buy myself something, that kit is coming.
The Nicola Pepe is coming.
Yeah, figured why not get a guy that's actually signed for a few years and for my love of the man. So my man crush.
Yeah.
Yes. So sorry, I had to.
No, this is why we do this. The live look-in.
Yeah, live reaction. So So where where were we before that?
I was saying Monday ends match day 30.
Yes.
Tuesday, we're rolling back into the next match day 31.
Yeah. And then it's a whole week of games, literally. Every day has at least
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the full match day 31.
Yeah.
Then they stagger it on the weekend to kind of give teams a little bit of a break. Like one game Saturday, one game Sunday, maybe another one on Monday, but then like Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, they just start rolling into it. And then again that following weekend. So it's like we said in the beginning, it's coming fast and furious. So it's a good time for us as fans because so many games are going to be coming at you. So
yeah,
and it's going to be a lot of picking. I thought we could either finish this weekend out or look to the next match day 31 and pick at the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll keep going and we'll see what we have time for as well. Maybe we'll just pick like 2 to finish out this weekend and do like 6 picks technically. Since again the Wednesday games were really for match day 29. We've really only picked 2 for match day 30, but whatever.
True.
We'll figure that out.
But we'll move on to I guess our Bundesliga portion, which actually don't do it.
Campeones!
No. So Bayern Munich wins their 8th straight title in a row.
Yes.
I don't know what to say. I'm like annoyed. I'm pissed off at my own team for shitting the bed when we had a chance to maybe narrow that gap.
I thought they really were going to. I really did.
And it's just a team that has just so much money, and all of the other teams are like struggling to even stay afloat at this point because of the pandemic. So to go back on the poll question that we put up, I think it is bad. It's bad that they have won 8 straight years in a row. And not just saying that because I'm not a Bayern fan. And it's annoying. And they're like the Yankees of the Bundesliga who they buy every good player in the league. Like if Jadon Sancho went to Bayern, I wouldn't even be fucking surprised at this point. Like if Kai Havertz went to Bayern, I'm not watching next year at all. And if they get Leroy Sané and Havertz, I'm done. I'm not watching.
It's very possible.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's very, very possible. I still think Kai might be coming to the Prem, but we'll see how that goes.
It's just, I don't know. As a Bayern fan, do you like them just shitting on everybody year after year?
So, obviously, part of being a fan, yeah, because the ultimate goal is to win championships. And to see your team win year after year is awesome. To know that they're going to pretty much be guaranteed a Champions League spot year after year is awesome. But for the sanctity of the sport and the league and everything, it's nice to have some diversity. It's nice to have some competition. Mm-hmm. I mean, Dortmund's a great team. They're very competitive with Bayern when they play head-to-head.
They just can't get over that.
Yeah, they sometimes play down to the lower competition, which Bayern generally doesn't, and that separates them at the end. Same thing with Red Bull Leipzig this year we saw. There was games that they should win and get 3 points, and they failed to.
Speaking
and Bayern
of that,
doesn't do that.
Dortmund beat Leipzig today, just now, 2-0.
Nice.
To clinch second.
Hey. This is one sport where second does have some value.
Erling Haaland
did it again.
just keeps on scoring.
I mean, Bayern did beat Freiburg as well too. But
Freiburg.
I mean, we figured that was happening. So
back in the Black Forest. But yes, go on. I'm sorry.
And it's okay. 4th of July, they play the German Cup to the championship against Leverkusen.
That should actually be a good game.
Does. So yeah, that should be a really good game and a chance for another trophy this year. So that would be awesome.
Just do it all.
Yeah,
they have a good shot at winning Champions League too, you bastard.
They sure do, which is going to be coming back in late August. It sounds like. But yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those tough things as a fan. I want my team to win every year, but
yeah, you're kind of torn.
Yeah, this one wasn't that exciting. I mean, I guess with the nature of it, where obviously the celebrations are nowhere near the same because what's going on with COVID, and you got empty stadiums, and you're not having parades, and you're not. So it's like, and now it's 8 in a row. It was kind of uneventful, which sucks. You don't ever want the thrill of winning a title to become like, it's another one. Like, you always want that excitement, and this one definitely was not so exciting. But it is what it is.
I don't know. It's just for the league's sake, it's just not good.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Brighton just tied this game up.
If I'm not mistaken.
It might be under review, but I think Brighton...
Oh, Ralphie.
I think Brighton may have just tied this game up.
Neil Malpai? I hope so.
I know you do. You love that Frenchman.
I'm a big French football, though.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything on ESPN, but...
Yeah, I'm waiting for the final decision, I guess, to pop. Usually I don't get the goal update till...
Jeff said 1-1.
Yeah. I know ESPN or Premier League, one of those apps, whoever I use for my scoring, usually doesn't pop till VAR is officially done. But if they're saying 1-1, it's that. There it is. Guess who? Guess who? Who do you think Arsenal allowed to score a goal?
Glenn Murray.
Nope.
Trossard.
Nope. He put it this way. He probably scores some of the most of the goals for Brighton, and he is not an offensive player.
Davy Propa.
Nope. I'll give you
Lewis
one last...
Dunk.
There you go. Lewis, the last time Arsenal blew a win to Brighton, it was Lewis fucking Dunk. You are the biggest closet Lewis Dunk fan.
I love Louis Dunk.
And he's going to show up at Chelsea. You're going to hate the fact that you asked for that. He's a better scorer than he is a defender. Although he had a great play on Lacazette early in the game that probably saved a goal as well. Lewis Dunk just does it to me again.
Louis Dunk, baby, haunting your dreams.
Yeah, he's like a 74, 75 FIFA rated defender that if he's not in your first pack of Ultimate Team cards, I'm always surprised.
He's probably he's a set piece specialist.
Yeah. Fucking Louis. He's one of those defenders that usually, I'm guessing it's a header. He usually finds his head to the ball on a corner or something. Again, I don't know because we haven't seen it, but that would be my blind prediction on how that goal probably happened. So yeah. Awesome. 1-1. Great.
Should be a thrilling finish.
Great. I don't need them getting points here, and we cannot be dropping points to Brighton.
So Arsenal.
But it still won't be a win. So Brighton, hopefully 15 more minutes or so, hopefully they won't break that streak of not having a win in 2020 against Arsenal. And if they do, I just may not order my Pepe jersey. Cancel that order. Cancel. So, but yeah.
To close the book on the Bayern situation, it's just it's not right.
Bundesliga season is over, although again we have relegation battles, so there are still relevant games worth watching.
I think there's one more. I think next week is the last week.
And then there's a playoff, I believe, right? Because it's the between the bottom four for the out. So
yes,
you'll have the relegation playoff. Unfortunately, two of the teams that that are going to be fighting for that carry U.S. players on them. So I mean that's good if you want to watch.
Bremen down there.
Yeah, and I think Schalke, I believe, maybe.
Is Schalke down there?
Yeah.
I haven't even checked.
Yeah,
I know they've been terrible since the restart. Schalke hasn't won at all. And
no,
I'm pretty sure
they hadn't
today.
scored a goal in like 5 games. They scored 1 goal in 5 games, and it was that McKinney goal. Yeah, so they've been horrible.
Yeah, they lost today against Wolfsburg. So
yeah, so they're definitely in that bottom.
Let's find out. I know Paderborn's down.
Well, Paderborn is like the Canaries.
They stink.
They came up. They could not compete on this
Congratulations.
level. You got 1 year, and bye-bye.
Bremen and Fortuna Dusseldorf seems like those are the 3. So Bremen and Paderborn will go down, and then Dusseldorf will play whoever the 3rd place team in the 2nd division.
So it wasn't Schalke.
No, Schalke will survive barely, but they've been really bad.
That's why I was thinking Dusseldorf, Zach Steffen.
Yes.
Even though he's out with injury, and when he was playing, they were actually competitive this year. That's another U.S. player, so you won't, unfortunately, get to see him compete, most likely. I don't think he's coming back before the season's over. So
I would be surprised if City is like, yeah, you can play in the 2nd division. That's fine. Nah.
Yeah, I think City will probably pull him back and lend him out somewhere else.
If I'm City, I'm loaning him to like a championship side that needs like a goalie.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody.
Which, again, that's probably an exciting race too.
Or maybe one of the teams that comes up next year.
Arminia Bielefeld just got. I think they won the league already. I saw their Twitter was saying, "Hey, Bundesliga, see you next year." I'm like, cool. Nice. Arminia Bielefeld is back. Come on, let's go.
That's great.
And most people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but that's okay.
Yeah,
it's a small country. It's a small city that probably won't do much next year.
Eddie said, "Can Arsenal be in the Europa League?" Not right now. Not the way they're playing now. No, they don't deserve to be. First of all, they can make it. They the way the points laid out, there was still an opportunity, but not if you draw a game like this. You got to get 3 points here.
Right. Jeff said Steffen will be the backup
for City next year. Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
If they lay it out to him and say, okay, you can start cup matches and maybe like a random one here and there. But if I'm him, I'm like, you want to keep developing him.
Yeah.
You don't want him to just, for our sake as U.S. fans.
Yeah, you want him playing
all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, where it's nice to be under, I mean,
Ederson has that spot wrapped up.
Yeah, and I guess to like train with Ederson and stuff would be helpful for his development. But there's no replacement for game speed and game time. So you want him playing as much as possible.
It'll be an interesting situation. I'm curious to see what they do with him next year.
Yeah, can lend him back to Columbus.
Yeah, right. You might as well fucking loan him to Paderborn or some shit.
Yeah. Red Bull needs a goalie.
We'll get into the MLS next week as
no MLS talk this
our
week.
Tournament is approaching.
Yes.
But as we're winding down, the world of soccer is starting to get back. I saw the Russian league is back last night.
Yes. That's another one back. So Turkish league's back, Russian league's back, Portugal league's back. It's just...
And we had La Liga's back. We had Real Madrid, Marco Asensio is back after like a year layoff, and he scored.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Speaking of Real, did you see Sergio Ramos linked to Inter Miami?
Jeez.
Inter Miami.
Please, no.
Oh, dude, he's going to be like...
Everybody's going to be linked to that soon.
I predicted on the MLS little group that we're in this morning, there was some talk about, because what's his name? Gonzalo Perez is now leaving my Cholos in Tijuana to play for Inter Miami. So he's coming back after a short
And how much you want to bet freaking Cavani when his contract runs out at PSG this year?
They're going to win an MLS title in the first 5 years.
Bops right over to Miami.
First 5 years, they will win an MLS Cup. I'm telling you right now. Everybody's going to want to go there.
They'll have
Cristiano Ronaldo.
They'll have like 5 DPs, and somehow like loopholes will keep them all on the team.
Oh, yeah. Somehow, that whole rule is just bullshit.
Like, how does Andy Nahar just waltz right into LAFC?
Yeah.
Makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah. There's just too many loopholes in those rules.
What?
And why is it like
why?
Yeah, and everybody else
the rich get richer.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Well, we're just like struggling. See, I got my Union shirt on too.
Yeah.
We're just struggling to keep our head above water, trying to find like random ass guys in third tier Germany.
Yeah. Mark Czechowski.
Tchaikovsky's great.
That's where our DP money's going, and they're just bringing in, studs. But
yeah, so La Liga's back. That good old Messi boy, some guy named Messi, very thin.
One of our fans early
sickly.
in the show wanted us to talk about Barcelona and stuff, and
I like La Liga. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I enjoy like Messi. He's the GOAT for sure. Like he's awesome, but
yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. That
doesn't
much.
turn my crank sometimes.
I mean, there's a shit ton of talent.
I'll watch him in Champions League.
World. Yeah, some of the best talent in the world's there, but
it's kind of like the Bundesliga. It's very top heavy, and a lot of people won't watch the Bundesliga because they don't know the teams, or they know that Bayern is the end all be all.
Yeah,
and everybody knows it's always Real Madrid, Barcelona, 1 and 2. Same thing you could say about Serie A. Serie A's back as well.
Yeah,
the Coppa Italia was this week.
That was great
against Juve and Napoli that went into PKs.
Napoli was named champs 4-2 in PKs.
And I also saw Napoli sign Dries Mertens to a 2-year extension, so he will probably he might go back to Belgium maybe to like finish his career out. But any speculation that he was going to come to like the Prem is just gone now.
Once he didn't make that move to Chelsea, you pretty much knew that
he's 32 already. So at this point, it's like you don't want a 34-year-old, which he is Napoli's all-time leading scorer now.
Arsenal will sign him when he's 35.
Let's get Dries Mertens for cheap. Oh, he's 35.
Yeah, let's bring him in and bury our talented young strikers in the depth chart and bring this guy in at the end of his career. That sounds like an Arsenal move.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So
it was a great game.
Yes. So I wanted to give one. We didn't really get into it this show at all. But we talked about all the negative behind the VAR and all that crap behind the Prem. We always say though that the Prem does a lot of things right, and I want to give them credit. Since the return, they've done a couple things. They're wearing the national health badges on their unis.
Yes.
They did all games are doing a minute-long moment of silence before the games for anybody who lost their lives during the COVID-19 pandemic, and to all those who have, frontliners who have been working and doing. So that was awesome to see everybody participating in that. The wearing of Black Lives Matter on the kits.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
As opposed to their names, not one player has a name on their kit. It's been replaced with that, they also have the patch that's going to remain for the remainder of the season. The naming is just for this week only. And then everybody, including refs, players, taking the knee for solidarity. Once the official first whistle was blown before the games were starting, balls kicked in, everybody takes a knee.
Yep.
And then game gets underway. So it was nice to see all that, and everything seems to be going well with that. So that's a big up to that league for using their platform in a very positive way for everything that's been going on in this crazy world right now. So,
oh yeah, I mean,
yeah. So I think they did really well with both of those.
Yeah, I mean, they've got it down pretty well, I think, with everything. You pretty much hit the nail on the head with all the BLM stuff. And also, I guess, the crowd noise, too. It's a little different from the German, where the Bundesliga, they have an in-house guy that's kind of pumping.
Yeah.
And a little more in tune with, like, the flow of play and what's happening. The Prem is more a guy sitting in the NBC studios, kind of, sort of pumping in.
Yeah, which I don't.
And you can switch it off too, which is interesting.
Yeah, they say
give
if
you
you
the
go
option.
on if you go on the app or whatever, it has it without it. But if you're watching live on regular TV, it's going to be on. Again, the players don't hear it. Although apparently in the beginning of the Arsenal game, they had to stop for a second because some of it was somehow getting pumped into the stadium and it wasn't supposed to be. So, yeah, that happened for about 30 seconds, and it seems that they fixed that. But I don't know. We talked about this in the last show. I love the idea of the sound being pumped in if the players hear it.
Yeah.
But just for the purposes of TV, I don't know. Now that I know that they're not hearing it, it just sounds crap. Kind of.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to do, I thought.
Yeah.
Kind of having the option of being like, well, if you don't like the crowd noise, you can turn it off and go to another channel.
Yeah, it's weird flex by.
It is a weird flex by NBC.
By the Prem, yeah. But
I was like, okay, and it's not like it's very loud. Like the in stadium one was like loud. The Prem one is kind of like background noise, just to make it not so like weird that it's just silent.
Yeah,
which makes it more weird. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, it just makes it seem like so fake and strange. It's just, I wasn't a fan of it so far this morning. And there was one piece of history that my one day future ex-wife Rebecca Lowe happened to mention this morning.
Oh, jeez.
Oh
boy!
So this game, as bad as it's going to be, and looks like it's going to end in a 1-1 draw unless something crazy happens here very shortly. Believe it or not, this was the first time a 3 p.m. start game in the Premier League was broadcast live on television in the UK.
Really?
Yeah. Usually these games are not live broadcast. The early games are and the late games are, but I guess this window, for whatever reason, I don't know any more details because I didn't have enough time to research it before we came on. Mm-hmm. But that apparently this is a history-making game in the fact that it's the first one in that time slot on a Saturday ever broadcast.
Interesting tidbit.
Yes. So thanks to my girl. Thanks to my lady.
Rebecca Lowe.
I love her. She's great.
She is fantastic. Actually, speaking of that, remember that it was supposed to be a watch party in Philly?
Yes.
That we were promoting. That was supposed to happen in April?
Yes.
Apparently, they are going to reschedule that for the fall, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that was the initial talks. I hope that stays.
Who knows if they want to come to the U.S. at this point?
Especially, Philly is not on the best graces right now of cities wanting to be traveled to necessarily. Unfortunately, for some, especially the part of the city where this was going to be held, is still in some minor shambles. But hopefully by then things will be back to some normalcy and we can get things rebuilt and all that.
It's fine. I'm there most of the time. It's not so bad.
No, I know. It's a little overhyped by the media, but I mean, still.
That's a different
It was kind of in
story.
Yeah, it was kind of in that hot spot of where this was going to be held. Yes, that was my point to that. That's all. But yes, hopefully with all things come back to some kind of normalcy, we can have this awesome thing happen for our sport in this area. That would be great for us as a show. It would be great, I think, for A2D as a platform. And it's just great for the league in general to get more exposure in a big city in the U.S. Oh, my God. There it is. I'm going to be returning. I'm going to be hitting the return button as soon as we hang up on here. The cancel order button. So if I'm...
God, that's hilarious.
I'd love to see how, where, who. Malpaw, 95th minute.
It's
official.
Hilarious. Huge Arsenal, 3 points for Brighton.
Arsenal is the worst team in the Premier League right now. The last team to win in all 4 major divisions of English soccer has just pulled off an upset at home against a horribly defended, I guess Emiliano Martinez coming in was not going to be good enough. I guess Zakdren Mustafi, you piece of shit, was not going to be good enough.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Well, the nice thing is,
what a way to end it.
I don't have a game to look forward to the rest of the year. I can focus strictly.
I can't stop laughing.
I'll focus strictly on the relegation battle.
Championship. Pick your Leeds guy, right?
I'm a Leeds guy. That's right. I am a Leeds guy.
Oh, and the dying moments too. Oh no.
You know what? That's what they deserve. They get exactly what they deserve.
Absolute scenes in Brighton.
I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. It's not even a thing of anger at this point. You know, like when your parents used to say, "I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed."
Mm-hmm.
And that hurt the worst.
Worst, yeah, more than that.
The worst. That's where we're at. We're beyond mad. We're disappointed.
I'm more disappointed, Arsenal. Ooh, stings me.
I'm wearing my Bayern pants again next week.
Damn it.
That's all I can do.
That's all I can
do. At least I got a 4th of July German Cup game that I have to look forward to in an MLS tournament coming up. So
yeah, next week that's a good segue. Yeah. Segue City.
Yeah, man.
We'll dive into the MLS tournament a little bit, maybe give some
deeper predictions.
Predictions.
I started to in the last one, but I might go back and make a few changes right before tournament actually starts. So yeah, we got that to look forward to. Again, we had all these relegation battles to look forward to. We've talked about some of these other leagues are going to be coming down to their finals soon, so we'll touch on them as they're getting close. So red card, yellow card, perfect time. We got a minute left.
I think you give all your cards to Arsenal.
I don't even have a yellow card anymore. My yellow card, it was Arsenal, right? But we all know, or for those of you who don't know, 2 yellows make a red, and you're out. You just picked up your second yellow right now in the 95th minute, Arsenal.
Arsenal sent off.
You and David Luiz, that piece of garbage, are now red carded. I'm done for the rest of the year. I will not watch another one of their games the rest of the year. They got a lot of work to do in this offseason. I'll be back next year. You. Take us out because I'm done. Just take us out.
I would say my yellow card goes to my beloved Canaries of Norwich. I think they're toast. They're done.
Perfect color for them too.
They're done, so. And my red card is to all you motherfucking racist bastards out there. Eat a dick.
I love it.
Love it. So, next week we'll have a full slate of games to recap in the Prem. We didn't have enough time to put our predictions for the upcoming week and today and tomorrow's games, but we will tweet them out and we will put them on our social media pages. How about that?
Yeah, we'll get them on A2D's and Kicking It Stateside's personal social media pages. We'll get them everywhere. And we'll see you guys in 1 week. Yes, Eric, super fan Eric, they're done. They're not a top 10 team. They suck. We got to go. I love you guys.
It's been fun.
Later.
We love you guys.